Hello, and welcome back. So today is Easter. I don't know if you guys celebrate it. I don't really. So I'm here today showing you. First off, I gotta say I apologize for the last few episodes. I didn't realize I was using the wrong microphone. When you say the wrong microphone, this thing actually pulls out, and I was using a different set. I didn't realize it was crap. So the last three episodes, I don't even know if I want to post them. I probably might because the answers or the messages were relevant. But today, I'm using my shadow deck, mainly because I wanted to. I don't know if I'm being called to. I just know I want to. Because I can feel something in my soul it's hard to explain. Lately, I've been in this pursuit of trying to find a better job, and I'm trying to move out of lack mindset and fight or flight mode, Because I'm now at a job, I'm making $1 less, and I'm making few less hours, but it's just enough to keep my bills going. So I'm like, alright, now I want to find something better. I want to do better. But I'm getting some kind of feeling that's saying, that's not it. I'm supposed to, or trying to, or am moving into a phase of receiving. Ever since I was a kid, more childhood trauma. Again, this isn't me being, oh, poor me, poor me. It's for those who resonate with it. I don't like receiving gifts. I don't like receiving anything. Whenever someone would give me money or give me a gift, I would feel guilty and bad, and I'd try to reject it. Be like, no, I'm not taking this. The reason being mainly because it always came with a cost. Gifts always came with a cost. Like, specifically, let's use this as an example. My stepmom bought me a poster of a game that I like. Said, here you go, and immediately followed up with, don't ever say I didn't do anything for you. It's just like, it's not really a gift. Or something my dad did. I loaned him $1,300. This was years ago. So it's something I need to let go. But I loaned him like $1,300 to help him fix his car. Because I had the money saved up for a new car. And he had to use it. So I stupidly said yes because I lived under his roof. Well, what he did was, instead of paying me back, is he used that money to go out and buy me a bass guitar. I actually yelled at him. I yelled. I was like, what the hell is your problem? Because he told me I was ungrateful. It's like, I went out and got you a gift. I'm like, no, you went out and spent my money on something I didn't need. That money was for a car. You jackass. Eventually, I yelled at him enough that he actually gave me my money back, and I got to keep the guitar. So now it was a gift. I shouldn't laugh at that. So, stuff like that, you get gifts, but they always come with strings attached, they always come with a cost. I just became quite used to, expecting something from me because I was receiving something. Anything. And it's not just my family, it's anyone. It's just society today. People always want to give a gift, and I can feel it. I feel it whenever people are nice to me. I feel like this foreboding cloud hanging over me, saying, oh, great, now they're probably going to come and ask for something, or they need a favor, or. Because it's not just my family, it's happened many times with friends, co-workers. I got to the point I just refused to do favors. I refused to help people or accept anything. But Spirit's trying to tell me, you know what, it's okay. For instance, recently, as in the past couple of weeks, I was talking with this dude at my job, a customer. And personally, he didn't know this until I said it. I want to travel. Everyone wants to travel, I'd love to see countries outside of the US. One of the things I got to do as a child growing up was we moved a lot, which I thought was a bad thing. But looking back, and especially with all the travel I've done in the States, although it was definitely a hassle, I have seen over 30 of the 50 states. That's not a lot people can say. I've been from coast to coast, the west coast to the east coast. I've seen both oceans on either side. I've been to New York. I've been to some of the Colorado, California, like some of the most popular places. I have been blessed to be able to travel. And I've decided I liked it. I actually like to travel. I mean, yeah, it's a hassle, but like luggage getting lost and feeling terrible and absolutely wiped out and pooped, but the trade off was worth it. I got to see some amazing things. So at some point in my life, I decided I wanted to travel. And I've been working on trying to get a passport, and I had everything ready but the money. And again, because I feel like in lack and limitation, I work at a job where I'm just barely paying bills, is how I feel. And that's something I'm trying to move past. But it's because I won't accept or receive. I'm still stuck in this, no, I have to work my ass off to get anywhere and get anything. That's not the case. There's really not. The story leading up to it. So I was talking to this dude, he had a little Mario keychain. For those who don't know what it is, because there are people who don't know what that is. It's Mario the video game. A little red and blue dude, it was a keychain. And I was like, oh man, that's really cool. He's like, yeah, actually I got it in Japan. And I was like, dude, that's something I'm gonna do on my bucket list. You know, it's before I croak from this planet. I want to travel. I'm gonna travel. He's like, oh, you gotta get yourself a passport, blah blah blah. I was like, I know. I've got everything in an order. I've got pictures. I've got the documents set out. I've literally got everything but the money. You know, because it's like $150, and I just haven't been able to set that aside. And I had the notion to give him a business card, my business card. It has my phone number, my email, my Instagram. You know, I'm an artist. So I gave him my business card. And he's like, does this email or this phone number have a Zelle attached to it? Those who don't know what that is, it's kind of like PayPal. It allows you to transfer money. And I'm just like, yeah, my phone number does. He goes, okay. Literally, as soon as he got home, he sent me $150. Said, there you go, man. Go get yourself a passport. I'm just like, holy shit. Okay. So I'm like, well, maybe I should apply it to my bills. My voice in my head goes, no. Use it for a passport. Don't worry. I took out 100. I had to use 60 of it, but I took out 100, set it aside. I've already set my appointment for a passport. By that passport, I will have the money set aside for it. By that appointment. Point is, I received, and nothing bad happened. In fact, I was open to receiving, and I received. Universe is like, okay, you want to go travel? You're taking their steps. Let me help you out a little bit. And lately, I've been, again, stuck in survival mode. I'm trying to get a second job just so I have a little extra cash. But my soul, my spirit, whatever, my heart, whatever you want to call it, is telling me, no, dude, no. You're going to burn yourself out. You're going to work your butt off again and go right back into that fight or flight mode. Like, I'm going to work myself like crazy just to make a little extra cash when it doesn't have to be that difficult. I need to be more open to receiving from people, from the universe, from God. In fact, I'm getting told that I don't need a second job. In fact, this job right now is just temporary. I'm supposed to be one of those people that just kind of get paid to exist. And that's something I'm kind of learning how to do. I mean, I'm trying here and there. I'm still in a state of rest. I can't tell if that's just me being lazy or if I should truly be restful. That's something I'm struggling with because I want to draw. I have some ideas. I've got YouTube videos I'm trying to make. I've got a comic book I'm trying to make. But yeah, I still feel resting, stuck. I can't get up the motivation. I can't get up the inspiration. And of course, I'm beating myself down. It's like, get up and draw. I'm just like, dude, I really don't feel like it. I've got a massive headache. Blah, blah, blah. It's always that interesting fence of, if you put it off till tomorrow, you're always going to continue to put it off. But then at the same time, you need to rest. Because right now I'm going through energetic changes. I'm releasing energies. And that's not easy. It's taxing. I'm being told over and over and over, and I'm just irritated at myself that it's not sinking into my head. All these changes I've been trying to go through and trying to do, which has been astronomical, especially this past month. Not an ego place, it's I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back, like, holy crap, Adam, you've been through so much this past couple of months. You've changed so much. And the guides say, even though you think you're doing nothing, like you're resting, you're doing so much. You're doing the work inside so that you don't have to do as much work on the outside, you know? That's something I've been really struggling to let go. So I'm going to sit here and do another card, shadow work. I know nobody likes that. Or I feel like nobody likes that. There are those who do want shadow work. But it's the shadow work deck. I'm, again, doing this for myself mainly. Hopefully others it helps. Oops. Point is, I'm still so stuck in that I must do something mode to receive. I must work, I must do, I must be active. You know, I'm still drawing from time to time, but I'm also trying not to fall back into my old patterns. I've just been watching TV and playing video games. It goes right back to I go to work, I get home, I eat dinner and watch TV, and typically play video games till I go to bed. There's nothing happening there. So it's this fine balance between doing work and resting, but doing work that's towards, I want to say your mission, but I don't even know what my mission is. My goal. I don't even have goals. I don't have aspirations. I just want to be a really good artist. I guess that's the aspiration. That's also part of the trauma, is I never set up goals or anything because everything always fell through. It's like, okay, anytime I make a plan, it gets kicked on, it gets stomped on, literally. I remember I moved out of my family's for a little bit and was living with a friend and his dad, and he was trying to help me set goals and tasks, and literally I'd be like, okay, so this is my plan, this is my plan. Literally the next day, something happened and all of it just fell apart. I'm like, well, okay, here's another plan. Again, next day fell apart. I'm just like, what? So I got to the point I just stopped making goals and plans, and now I just kind of work aimlessly. I don't know if that's good or bad, right or wrong, whatever. But I'm done shuffling, and I'm officially gonna ask, guides, show me what to do. Like, I know I'm not supposed to do something, but at the same time, what is required of me? What is being asked of me? Even if it's rest, just what do I do to get out of this fight or flight mode? I've asked this in the last video, but what do I do to be in the energy of receiving? Because I know that things just aren't working as they are. And even though I've been doing the inner work, I don't feel like much is changing. So what else is required of me? We're gonna go crazy and we're gonna do the 5 card spread today. Core Wisdom card. Card number 1. Ooh, sadness. 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 I'm invisible. Sadness. Core wisdom. The essence to focus on. Sadness. I mean, I do feel sad. I am depressed. I'm tired. Because I feel like I've hit this point in my life that I've acknowledged the broken system and I don't want to be a part of it anymore. But yet I still feel like I'm stuck in the broken system. Like, I don't know how to escape. I don't know what to do. And that's, again, part of my issue is I'm constantly on this gotta do something. But let's see what it says. I hold sadness as it is without attachment. I allow myself to feel the beauty of tears. What stories or feedback have I been told about my sadness? When I see others feeling sad, what is my go-to response? What can I learn from sadness as an important teacher? Well, let's actually sit here and think about it. What am I sad about? I know whenever I saw someone be sad, I would instantly try to cheer them up. And most people would think, hey, that's a good thing. Well, that's because I never felt like I could deal with my sadness. I'm sad because I feel like I'm in a broken system. Like, I feel extremely alone. I feel alienated because I'm in a world that I realize isn't real. And it's off and it's weird and I truly don't feel like a part of it. But yet I must go in day by day and function like I do. Gotta get along with the energies at work. I gotta process things I don't necessarily like, and I'm sad because of the world I live in. I'm simultaneously grateful, but you can't be toxic positivity and just be like, no, everything's okay, everything's good. No, I'm pretty sad. I'm pretty depressed because I feel like that's all there is. That's all I've seen, and I've been trying so hard to work out of it because again, that's how I feel all there is. Work 9 to 5 job, wake up, don't really make friends. You don't really like my adulthood. I was taught you don't really have friends. You don't really need relationships. And part of that's true. But at the same time, I see others functioning in that manner that I am not. I see people go out with their friends. I'm 30. I see people who have roommates and friends and they're all surviving together and they have community. And I'm over here just figuring out shit on my own. That's how it's always felt like. Even with asking for help, I feel like it's been falling away. Like recently, I asked my grandma for assistance, but because everybody's struggling, and this is a big thing for me, I don't like asking for help. So the one time I did, turns out she couldn't. There's a car repair I'm trying to get done, and I'm trying not to finance it because it's like $800-900, and I don't want that kind of debt. I'm just gonna have to. So I asked my grandma for assistance. She originally said she was gonna, and then turns out she can't. She is unable to, or else she would hurt herself financially. So she told me to text my mom, who I never talked to because family trauma. And my mom's like, all right, you know what? I'm going to try to find a mechanic and see if I can help you out. She's like, I'm pretty sure I have someone who can help you, but I will text you when I know 100%. It's been 2 to 3 weeks. This Saturday, I'm going to get it fixed through the mechanic. Because at a certain point, I'm driving like 30 minutes a day, one way. I can't just keep going without it unchecked. So I've been asking for help and nothing's happening. So I honestly am still trying not to get stuck in the pit of despair of, even though the inside's changing, nothing outside of me is changing. I still feel lack, I still feel limitations, I still feel stuck. I'm sad. I'm confused, you know? It's like, what's going on? Why isn't the outside changing? Honestly, part of me is like, it's supposed to be a flip of a switch. Oh, look, I changed the inside, so everything outside should change. No. Yes and no. It's trying to catch up to me, but I still feel like nothing's changed, even though I am. And that does make me sad and depressed. Then I have to feel that sadness. I've just been trying to push it away and be like, alright, maybe that's why I'm playing so many games or watching TV is just kind of ignoring the situation I'm in, being sad, feeling those feelings. Because it sucks. It feels like I'm getting let down again. It feels like, I mean, I could go on for hours. So that's the core wisdom. You see, now I'm actually feeling sad just talking about it. Like, I'm not in such a high vibe state no more. Number 2, support card. Any insights you've gained from working with the core wisdom? How can those insights offer support as you seek to integrate or deeply understand your core wisdom? So, card 2 is your voice. Well, that's pretty obvious. I mean, it doesn't have to be at someone or with someone. It's always nice to have a friend to talk to and be able to. I mean, venting, I don't really see venting as a good thing, but it's nice to be able to voice stuff instead of just stuffing it all. Like, that's part of your throat chakra. You can't just stuff it all. Again, that's something I learned to do as a child. I never got to voice my opinion. I never mattered. That's how it felt. In class, I was always the quiet kid. At home, I was always the quiet kid. I learned never to speak the truth. I learned never to talk at all. So using the voice to articulate really helps. Like, for instance, at work, I kind of had to stand up for myself one day. I'm like, yo, dude, I feel like I'm getting paid less than my last job, which is true, but I'm getting twice as much work. Like, what is going on? It didn't really go anywhere, but these are truths that I feel like I have to voice. Not in a improper way, like, oh, what the hell, F this job, but using the voice to articulate it instead of just stuff it. Yeah, you can feel the sadness. You can feel depressed. And I remember growing up that I would literally sit in depression, but I would never say anything about it. Speaking about it is part of the release, part of letting it go. Because if you feel like I also have had that issue with anger, sadness and anger, if you don't let it go, it just loops. It loops in your heart, it loops in your head. And that's why venting sometimes feels good, but it got to a point with me that venting actually made me feel worse, because then I just continued to sit in the energy. So maybe there's a better way to articulate it that's not venting, just being like, Adam, you're depressed right now, alright? It's okay. Admit it. You don't have to hide it, you don't have to stuff it. You don't have to act like everything's okay. You're depressed, dude. It's alright. It happens. In fact, one of the quotes I've seen says depressed is actually deep rest. You're depressed because you're sick of being this person. Your body, your soul, it wants a rest. And that's true. I want a rest from this reality. I'm gonna be a little vulnerable here. I've been suicidal for months. Even though life is good and I'm seeing miracles all over the place, I'm still kind of sick of it, Card number 3. Gonna move on. Wisdom. The shadow is the shadow underneath the shadow. What else could be hidden as it relates to the core wisdom? Acknowledging the sadness can be wisdom. Everything leads back to wisdom. A lot of it does. Because then you realize the core, the roots of what's going on, as I was saying in one video. Acknowledge why you're sad. Like I just said, I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I can't ask for help. I feel like I get let down a lot. I feel like I can't depend on people. And from that comes the wisdom. It's like, oh, well, now you got to change that programming and be like, you know what? Maybe you can't. Maybe one of the guides I've been told by was rejection is not negative, it's redirection. Like, say, for instance, there's a chick I really liked. Tried to ask her out. Turns out it was not that great of an idea. I got rejected and kind of led to find out with my heart that maybe that person wasn't best match for me. But of course, I was sad and got depressed about rejection. But now it's like, you know what? Maybe that's for the best. And that's where the wisdom comes in. Is once you analyze it, once you vocalize it, once you let it go, wisdom pops through and says, hey, there's a reason for that. There's a reason for sadness. There's a reason for speaking your voice. And through speaking your voice, wisdom comes out. Most of the time. In fact, one of the best things I like, children. are some of the wisest creatures ever, mainly because they don't hold anything back. Sometimes they say the truth, a lot of the times, and it's coming from their core. Like, not to call people out, but one day it was kind of funny. My coworker had this thing where it annoyed him that we have to tape up boxes. We feel like that's part of the customer's job. You should be doing that, not us. In fact, that's part of what we teach is because we don't, want to use our materials for something the customer should be doing. So instead of articulating it, his child asked, and it was hilarious. It was a female. She's like, "Here, you tape this up for me, blah blah blah." And the kid's like, "What's he doing?" "Oh, he has to tape up mommy's boxes." "Well, why didn't you do that?" And everyone just kind of laughed, and we're like. Then my coworker goes, "Man, that kid's speaking the truth." I'm like, "Yeah, it's coming from an ego place. Yeah, I get you. It's not that hard to tape a box. I'm just gonna shut up and do it. Whatever." But the fact the kid said that was it's hilarious. Card number 4. Fear. I've seen this card plenty of times. Again, it's the fear of it's not gonna be okay. The fear in general, just fear. Number 4. Previous expressed potential ways the essence of the core wisdom has expressed. And fear. Fear that I'm never gonna get help. Fear that I have to do this alone. Fear that I'm going to be alone. Like, through all the setbacks and the letdowns, just ended up writing fear. Instead of, oh, it's okay, toxic positivity. It's fine, I'll just figure it out. Ha 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 ha. No, I'm sad. I'm upset. My family can't help me. Like, I felt like I should have reached out to them, and I finally decided to ask for help, and now there's nothing. It doesn't feel like I can rely on people, you know? That's got to come through, and the fear of being stuck in what I am and where I am. And I mean, you could sit here for hours and talk about fear. Fear is the stem of most things. Let's actually read this one. Fear of just nothing ever changing. As I was saying before, even though my innards are changing, I'm changing myself. It doesn't really feel like anything around me is changing. And the fear that it's pointless. The fear that it doesn't matter. And that's something I've been trying to get over, because I know that's not true. It really does. I release myself from being bound by my own fears. I walk in liberation, untethered to fear. Untethered and free. What fears are not a likely threat that can be released? Where have I allowed myself to be bound by my own fears? What sensations do I notice when I feel fear? Sadness. Anger. I mean, you can sit there and go through. These are contemplations that you should think. And this is actually one of the rituals that says is use your voice. Talk to yourself in the mirror as if you were talking to an old friend. Set a 5-minute timer and speak out as many layers of fear as you can. Using your voice. It's not complaining. It's working through. The reason therapy is good, and even though I don't do it and I don't necessarily know if I believe in it, the reason it's good is because talking through your problems is kind of like untangling a ball of yarn. It's not necessarily they're trying to give you answers, but it's you working through your own issues. Sometimes they can offer help, sometimes they can offer tools, advice. But for me, it's been untangling the own ball of yarn that's in my head. The messy pool of anxiety and fears. Because literally, sometimes I get epiphanies from going, blah, 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 blah. Oh, well, that's how I feel. In fact, it's a classic misdirection. Like, I think it was Malcolm in the Middle or some TV show where they use it as a manipulating tactic. Is you pull up something random. Say you're frustrated, and you refuse to talk about it. So you bring up something random like not being manipulative, like, oh, you don't know what it is. No, no, it's like, say, hey, you want to buy some bags of sand? And the person's like, what? No, I, I don't care about sand. Well, not about a bucket of water. No, dude, like, I'm pissed off because blah, blah, blah. And they're like, oh, there you go. It helps them uncover what's underneath by working and sifting through the, the clutter in their brain. So, talking it out, talking about your fears, your sadness, being vulnerable, it's all kind of helpful. I say kind of, it's helpful. Even if you, because sometimes you don't want to acknowledge it. And without acknowledging it, nothing will change. I am afraid of being alone. I am afraid of constantly being alone. Even though I know deep down, not from an ego standpoint, but it's like you don't need validation from a person, you don't need validation from a partner or friends. I've just always felt alone, and that's how it's really hard to get out of. That's one of my biggest fears. It's the fear of feeling unloved or unlovable. Man, this is bringing up a lot of crap. Card number 5. Potential ways to express that core may express itself in your life and choose to work through it or not with it. That didn't make any sense. I'm going to have to go back and reread that. Card 5. Frustration. Kind of all ties in together. Because again, I'm also frustrated. It's part of fear, part of sadness. Because again, then it leads back to the frustration of, like for instance, I'm not mad at the universe, I just get frustrated. So say it tells me to reach out and try and ask for help, ask to receive, just try to move forward. And then you try to move forward and you get slapped in the face or you fall on your face. It's like, okay, I've asked everyone I know, and nothing happened. So what are you doing? You tell me to try, I try, then I fail, or nothing happens. I'm I'm getting a little frustrated. I don't understand. And then it leads back to fear. It's like, well, you tell me this, but then I'm afraid because blah blah blah, and it's just kind of like this weird endless cycle of anxiety. You're sad, you're depressed, you're fearful, and then it leads back to anger. It comes back in frustration. And for me, it's all kind of one and the same. And work through the frustration. Because in reality, it could just be working out in your favor. Yes, maybe that door didn't open, but if you still continue to allow it to and keep asking and voicing, maybe there's another door. Even though my family can't help me, maybe there's someone else, something else. There's another way. And you're allowed to feel frustration. Definitely, it's not an invalid emotion. That's also something I said I was getting shut down, was I was not allowed to feel basically anything. I couldn't feel frustrated, I couldn't feel sadness, I couldn't feel depression. Excuse me. My apologies. And I feel like when things aren't working out, I just kind of bottle it all instead of trying to feel it. So even frustration, it's like, no, no, relax, don't get mad, don't get frustrated. No, you can feel mad. It's okay. Don't act on it, but frustration is a normal part. You're allowed to be. It's a perfectly natural reaction. Because it's just I'm just trying not to let it send me into a tailspin and be like, all right, I give up. I'm trying, I failed, and I give up. I'm frustrated, I'm sad, I'm done. That's the part what I've been trying not to fall victim to it. Let's hope I actually absorb something from this message. Because I can sit here and yammer about this on and off and play with my cards all day, but if I don't actually put into fruition what I'm talking about, it all becomes kind of meaningless. So yeah, I'm frustrated. I'm definitely frustrated and sad. Because I don't understand. I don't know what's going on. That's all part of the game. Because I'm not necessarily supposed to know. Pulling one more card just for fun. Top card. Bada boom. The truth. Oh, I haven't seen that card yet. The truth. The truth of what lies within your heart. That's all I've been saying this whole video is just truths that I feel like are programmed into me. The truth of what was, what is. It's being revealed from the fear, from the frustration. Because as a kid, I used to just let the emotions fly and not know why. I'd be mad, I'd be upset, whatever. I'd lash out, but I'd never really get to the root of the problem. But in discovering the truth and voicing it, you get wisdom. I guess that's really all I had to say. Just trying to work through my crap just like everyone else. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm probably not going to post this one on Easter. I don't know. I might post it now. Yeah, I guess I'm being told to post it now. Because I've had 3 other videos and I don't know if I like the audio. But it is what it is. I'm going to post it in anyways. You can still hear me. It's not like completely gargled. It just doesn't sound the bestest. But I have noticed streamers, people post, even with bad audio, they just put it out there and just say, F it, I don't care. So y'all have a great Easter. Happy freaking Easter.